Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English on Autopilot. And for our second episode of Coffee Chats, we have a guest.
Hello.
This is Emily. Emily, where are you from?
I'm from Boston in the United States.
From Boston. Okay. So Emily is from the East Coast, the other side of the United States. Pretty far from Nevada.
Very far. How long is the flight, do you think?
From Boston, it has to at least be 5 hours, if not
Wow.
more.
Wow.
In a plane, not 5 hours driving. 5 hours in a plane. So very, very far. But Emily and I, we met here in Spain. We met here in Spain. Where did we meet? This was a few years ago.
I think 4 years ago.
4 years ago? At least 3.
We met at work at an English academy as teachers.
Exactly. Emily is also an English teacher, and Emily is here because she wanted to help make some videos of comprehensible input here. And so now we're going to have a little coffee and chat. So, Emily, we met 3 years ago at an English academy, being foreigners, right? Being from the United States. And so I thought it'd be interesting because both of us, we live abroad as Americans, and a lot of people that are watching this travel. A lot of the viewers, they watch it to learn English for travel. So how is it being an American abroad? From where you live, also living abroad, but then just traveling. What do you think?
Living in Europe is wonderful. I am so used to having to take a 6-hour flight or a 5-hour flight or, even 3 hours to Florida, for example, to get anywhere. And in Europe, it's super easy to travel. Also, it's in the middle of everything. So even if you want to go, I haven't been yet, but to Asia, for example, it would be a lot easier to get there than, just going from Boston.
That's so true. And that's something I didn't realize, but it's totally true.
Yeah.
When I went to Korea, it was actually easier to go from Spain to Asia just because of how giant the Pacific Ocean is. To fly to the other side. It's such a difficult flight, such a long flight.
Yeah.
You got to get to LA first and then go all the way. It was actually easier to come from the furthest west, basically, of Europe to get to Asia. To Korea is pretty far east. So it was, that's so true. And traveling in Europe,
it's so nice.
So nice.
Yeah.
So nice. Where have you traveled to? Which countries outside of Spain?
I have traveled to, let's think, Italy. I've been to Hungary. I've been to Sweden. I've been to, where else? Now I'm forgetting. I haven't been on a trip in a while. The Netherlands, Denmark, a lot of places.
A lot more of the Nordic countries.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Wow, that's actually an area I've not explored. A place I'd like to go.
Yeah.
But I've never been to any of the Nordic countries. And so what I think is interesting when we travel as Americans, we have the privilege of being English speakers.
Yes.
Because English is normally the universal language, right, when you travel. At the very worst, in a country, you'll probably find someone that speaks English. Of course, certain countries have different levels. Certain countries, like if you go to a Nordic country, the English is excellent.
Yes.
And in fact, they probably have better grammar than I do. They speak even better than I do.
They do,
right? Like a native speaker goes there and you're like, wow, this is very good grammar. This is excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, this is as an English teacher as well.
Yeah.
English teachers, we're nerdy enough that we'd be like, wow, your grammar is excellent.
Yeah. And I always say that to them too. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like, where did you learn this? I want to know how they learned how to speak that well.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of it comes from learning by immersion.
Yeah.
A lot of those Nordic countries are exposed to television, radio, things like that. They're getting comprehensible input from a young age and a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you travel to other countries where the level is not as high,
Mm-hmm.
but you meet at least enough people to get by.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where if you don't speak the language.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, when I went to Italy,
Mm-hmm.
same thing. And if you speak Spanish, at least you can understand enough
Yeah.
Italian to where, okay, you can at least get through.
Mm-hmm.
And they will understand you well enough if you
Right.
speak Spanish to them.
Yeah.
Going to Romania, it was a good thing. I had a Romanian friend
Yeah.
because the level of English, depending in big cities, of course, it's normally much better, right?
Right. Yeah.
Any big city.
Mm-hmm.
But you go to the smaller villages, small towns, and all of a sudden, it's more difficult.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how do you think the people perceived you? How do you think people saw you as an American? Did anyone ever make comments about Americans? Like, what are the number one comments you hear as an American abroad?
I personally haven't experienced any comments because I think there are different types of people when they travel, and I always try to be to assimilate as much as I can, to not stand out, to not be rude or loud, or I'm always very aware of my surroundings, and I try to be like respectful of the place that I'm in. So I've never had someone come at me. Granted, even if you are respectful, they could still make a comment. But I think that we are perceived in a certain way around the world, and I hate that, because I think that there are a lot of Americans that don't fit the stereotype of being annoying tourists, you know.
Of course, but
Yeah.
sadly, there is a reason for the
Right.
stereotype.
Exactly.
I mean, even being an American abroad, sometimes when I'm out, and in Madrid even, and you go out to dinner and you hear like
Yeah.
American tourists and they're being louder,
Mm-hmm.
and of course in Spain people talk louder. It's not a culture that's very quiet.
Right.
It's a culture that's very sociable.
Yeah.
That people in Spain love to be out with friends, have a good time, eat, drink, and talk a lot and
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah.
But sometimes you see some American tourists, and for me, gives me secondhand embarrassment, where I feel
Yes.
embarrassed, even though I didn't do anything. Secondhand embarrassment there, where you're like, oof, please, behave
Be
well.
quiet.
But I agree with you. When I travel, I try to do the same, right? I try to not stick out. I try to not, and of course, when you're in, for example, an Asian country, when you go to a place like Korea and you look like I do, with white skin, red hair, everyone looks at you
Yeah.
because you stand out.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could do, but I can still behave in a way that's respectful there in Korea. That's a culture that's, especially something like on the metro, on the subway, silence.
Yeah.
Like there's like, if you're gonna speak, you're whispering. You're like the opposite of here.
Yeah.
The opposite
The
of
absolute
Spain.
opposite.
Right? And so like you just adjust. You're like, okay, you look around, you see what everyone's doing.
Yeah, you're aware.
Exactly. You're aware and you go, no one's talking, so I shouldn't.
Right.
Okay, makes sense. But then you see videos. Have you seen videos of American
So
tourists or like influencers on Instagram or streamers like on Twitch
Yeah.
that go to those countries and cause problems? And you're like, no, please.
Yeah. You're ruining it for the rest of us.
It's that. You're like, you're ruining it. What if when I go and everyone looks at me and they say, oh, this is what's going to happen? No.
Yeah, yeah. Of course.
It's so true.
It is.
And then what about living here? Because here, you're more likely to interact with locals living here.
Yeah.
What are the things they say to you? What are the comments? I think we know.
A few.
I think we're going to have a lot of similarities.
Yes. I think the biggest thing that people say to me is about Fast food.
Really?
Fast food and
Okay.
guns.
Guns for sure.
Those two things
For sure.
are the biggest topic of conversation with locals and with even my students sometimes. Like, they are curious to know about those things. And it saddens me. At first it's funny, but it does sadden me a little bit to think that that's how the rest of the world sees us,
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is sad. It is sad, but it makes sense in a way where fast food came from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It's a business model.
Yep.
If you've seen my video on McDonald's, you know this. But absolutely, it comes from the United States. And also, we're not going to lie, there is a gun problem in the United States. The amount of firearms in general in the United States is shocking.
It is.
It's shocking, especially compared to a country like Spain.
Yes.
Where I saw an interesting video on Instagram. If this is false, you can let me know. But I believe it's real, and it makes sense to me. They said there's more bars in Spain named Casa Paco than there are firearms. Just bars named Casa Paco, where for people that aren't Spanish speakers or not from Spain, Paco is a pretty popular name, especially in an older generation now. Not so much the younger ones, people. Right? Because it comes from Francisco. It's a little older. But there's more bars with that name than guns. And in the United States, there's more guns than people.
Yeah. There's something wrong with that picture.
There's something wrong with that picture, right? I agree. I get a lot of comments about that. Now that you say it, less about fast food, more about the guns. Especially as a teacher, you're right. When you're a teacher, the students, but even just out, right? When you're out with friends and you meet a group of people that are from Spain or not from the United States. And it's one of the things that comes up.
It is. Yeah.
Also, politics.
Yep.
In general, right? Especially about the president.
Yep.
People like that, people always ask, what do you think about the president? And I say, well, I don't live in the United States. I'll let you figure out what that means for me, for the situation.
Right.
I like living here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But the gun comment for sure comes up. And to finish our coffee chat, how would you like people to view Americans? How would you like, as an American, as someone who knows our culture to the very depths and understands what it is to be an American, not just the stereotypes, how should we be perceived?
That's a very good question. I think there are a lot of people in the United States that are like us, whether they choose to live abroad or not. There are a lot of people that do not fit into that stereotype. I think that we were talking about, and also a lot of people that don't like guns and, don't eat tons of fast food and those things. But I think I'd like people to be a little more open-minded when they see an American or meet an American, and not just assume that we like all those things or we're going to be loud and obnoxious, because a lot of us aren't.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think I've met certain people here that eat more fast food than people in the United States.
Yes. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I think that was a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Give everyone a chance, regardless of where they come from.
Yeah.
Maybe they do fit into the stereotype. Maybe you will meet that American that is loud, eats a lot of fast food, loves guns.
And you might love that person.
And that person might be a lovely person.
Right.
Give everyone a chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing a cup of coffee. And before we leave, what are you drinking? Are you drinking coffee? How do you like your coffee?
I like my coffee. It's funny because coming from the US, oh, this is another good thing to say about it. A lot of people drink iced coffee no matter what time of year it is. And now that I've moved to Spain, I've definitely changed that habit. I like to drink my coffee in winter now hot with milk and a couple spoons of sugar.
There you go. Well, cheers.
Cheers.